The most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and then beat you with experience. The noblest work of God, man. Who found it out? Man. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. Man was made at the end of the week's work, when God was tired. Of all the animals, man is the only one that is cruel. He is the only one that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it. My works are like water. The works of the great masters are like wine, but everyone drinks water. There are no people who are quite so vulgar as the over-refined ones. The truth must be served like a coat and not thrown in the face like a wet towel. Let us live so that when we come to die, even the undertaker will be sorry. Clothes make the man. Naked people have little or no influence in society. Everyone is a moon and has a dark side which he never shows to anybody. The average human being is a perverse creature, and when he isn't that, he is a practical joker. Circumstances make man, not man's circumstances. If you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. This is the principal difference between a dog and man. Adam and Eve had many advantages, but the principal one was that they escaped teething. Wrinkles should merely indicate where the smiles have been. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great make you feel that you, too, can become great. Such is the human race. Often it does seem such a pity that Noah didn't miss the boat. Concerning the difference between man and the jackass, some observers hold that there isn't any. Take any type of woman, and you will find in it something to respect, something to admire, something to love. There is only one good sex, the female one. No civilization can be perfect until exact equality between men and women is included. It takes much to convince the average man of anything, and perhaps nothing can ever make him realize that he is the average woman's inferior. One frequently only finds out how really beautiful a beautiful woman is after considerable acquaintance with her. Some civilized women would lose half their charm without dress, and some would lose all of it. No woman or man really knows what perfect love is until they have been married a quarter of a century. You can't reason with your heart. It has its own laws and thumps about things which the intellect scorns. When you fish for love, bait with your heart, not your brain. After all these years, I see that I was mistaken about Eve in the beginning. It is better to live outside the garden with her than inside it without her. A baby is an inestimable blessing and bother. We lavish gifts upon children, but the most precious gift, our personal association, which means so much to them, we give grudgingly. All you need in this life is ignorance and confidence. Then success is sure. Be good, and you will be lonesome. Kindness is a language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. Better a broken promise than none at all. Courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, not absence of fear. A man should not be without morals. It is better to have bad morals than none at all. Do right, and you will be conspicuous. The man who does not read has no advantage over the man who cannot read. Virtue has never been as respectable as money. Anger is an acid that can do more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to anything on which it is poured. To get the full value of joy, you must have someone to divide it with. The fear of death follows from the fear of life. A man who lives fully is prepared to die at any time. A banker is a fellow who lends you his umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Nothing so needs reforming as other people's habits. The human race has only one really effective weapon, and that is laughter. Always obey your parents when they are present. This is the best policy in the long run, because if you don't, they will make you. We can secure other people's approval if we do it right and try hard, but our own is worth 100 of it, and no way has been found out of securing that. A man may have no bad habits and have worse. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. A sin takes on new and real terrors when there seems a chance that it is going to be found out. Only two things we'll regret on deathbed: that we are little loved and little traveled. In order to make a man or a boy covet a thing, it is only necessary to make the thing difficult to attain. The more things are forbidden, the more popular they become. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. Never argue with a fool. Onlookers may not be able to tell the difference. Eat a live frog first thing in the morning, and nothing worse will happen to you the rest of the day. Courage is resistance to fear. Mastery of fear, not absence of fear. There are several good protections against temptations, but the surest is cowardice. Conscience takes up more room than all the rest of a person's insides. Always acknowledge fault frankly. This will throw those in authority off guard and give you an opportunity to make a choice. There are not enough morally brave men in stock. We are out of moral courage material. The universal brotherhood of man is our most precious possession, what there is of it. Human pride is not worthwhile. There is always something lying in wait to take the wind out of it. When people do not respect us, we are sharply offended. Yet in his private heart, no man respects himself much. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. By trying, we can easily learn to endure adversity. To believe yourself brave is to be brave. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has laid an egg cackles as if she had laid an asteroid. There is no character, howsoever good and fine, but it can be destroyed by ridicule, however poor and witless. Loyalty to petrified opinions never yet broke a chain or freed a human soul. When I was younger, I could not remember anything, whether it had happened or not. But my faculties are decaying now, and soon I shall be, so I cannot remember any but the things that never happened. It is sad to go to pieces like this, but we all have to do it. In certain trying circumstances, urgent circumstances, desperate circumstances, profanity furnishes a relief denied even to prayer. Modesty died when clothes were born. When angry, count to 4. When very angry, swear. Each race determines for itself what indecencies are. Nature knows no indecencies. Man invents them. Honesty, the best of all the lost arts. Chastity, it can be carried too far. We begin to swear before we can talk. The secret source of humor itself is not joy but sorrow. Loyalty to country always. Loyalty to government when it deserves it. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. One of the proofs of the immortality of the soul is that myriads have believed in it. They have also believed the world was flat. Prosperity is the best protector of principle. Be careless in your dress if you must, but keep a tidy soul. If I cannot swear in heaven, I shall not stay there. Grief can take care of itself, but to get full value of a joy, you must have somebody to divide it with. The man who is a pessimist before 48 knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. A person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. Buy land. They're not making it anymore. At $0, a man can be an ass without being an optimist, but not an optimist without being an ass. Pessimist, the optimist who didn't arrive. It is a wise child that knows its own father, and an unusual one that unreservedly approves of him. Whatever a man's age, he can reduce it by several years by putting a bright-colored flower in his buttonhole. When in doubt, tell the truth. We should be careful to get out of an experience only the wisdom that is in it, and stop there. The lack of money is the root of all evil. Whoever has lived long enough to find out what life is knows how deep a debt of gratitude we owe to Adam, the first great benefactor of our race. He brought death into the world. We have permanent habits until we are 40. Then they begin to harden. Presently, they petrify. Then business begins. All say, "How hard is it that we have to die?" A strange complaint coming from the mouths of people who have had to live. As by the fire of experience, so by commission of crime, you learn real morals. Honesty is the best policy when there is money in it. No real gentleman will tell the naked truth in the presence of the ladies. Giving up smoking is the easiest thing in the world. I know, because I've done it thousands of times. Some people lie when they tell the truth. I tell the truth, lying. Truth is the most valuable thing we have. Let us economize it. An honest man in politics shines more than he would elsewhere. A truth is not hard to kill. A lie told well is immortal. A lie can travel halfway around the world, while the truth is putting its shoes on. When your friends begin to flatter you on how young you look, it's a sure sign you're getting old. One of the striking differences between a cat and a lie is that a cat has only 9 lives. I never could tell a lie that anyone would doubt, nor a truth that anyone would believe. Do something every day that you don't want to do. This is the golden rule for acquiring the habit of doing your duty without pain. I have made it a rule never to smoke more than 1 cigar at a time. The only way to keep your health is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you'd rather not. I can't stand George Eliot and Hawthorne and those people. I see what they are at 100 years before they get to it, and they just tire me to death. There are 869 different forms of lying, but only one of them has been squarely forbidden. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. It is the little conveniences that make the real comfort of life. To be busy is man's only happiness. When red-headed people are above a certain social grade, their hair is auburn. Do not put off till tomorrow what can be put off till day after tomorrow just as well. Against the assault of laughter, nothing can stand. There are people who can do all fine and heroic things but one: keep from telling their happiness to the unhappy. The exercise of an extraordinary gift is the supremest pleasure in life. There is no such thing as a new joke. 24 years ago, I was strangely handsome, the remains of it still visible through the rifts of time. I like a good story well told. That is the reason I am sometimes forced to tell them myself. Thunder is good. Thunder is impressive. But it is the lightning that does the work. It is human to exaggerate the merits of the dead. Unexpected money is a delight. The same sum is a bitterness when you expect more.